In this lecture, we will discuss managing system projects. When we look at project management, we have to look at what shapes a project. Successful projects must be completed on time, within budget, meets the requirements, and satisfies the users. The project must have cost, scope, and time. Usually, one of these is fixed, a budget cast in stone, an inflexible scope, and a schedule fixed by factors beyond the firm's control. Usually a project is managed by a project manager. A project manager should have good leadership is essential. They do project planning. They identify all the project tasks and estimate the completion time and each completion time of each. They create specific timetable that shows tasks, task dependencies, and critical tasks that might delay the project. A successful project must balance cost, scope, and time against a set of constraints. The example in Figure 3.3 shows the project appears to be a success. A project manager monitors the project by guiding, supervising, and coordinating the project team's workload. They create regular progress reports to management, users, and the project team itself. Some of the tools that's used is a Gantt chart. A Gantt chart was developed by a mechanical engineer and management consultant, Henry L. Gantt, almost 100 years ago. It shows plan and actual progress on a project. Time is usually displayed on a horizontal axis, and the task is shown on a vertical axis. Also used is a PERT CPM chart. PERT was developed by U.S. Navy to manage complex tasks. The critical path method is similar to PERT, developed by private industries. Most analysts call both a PERT chart. Sometimes you might compare which is better, a Gantt or a PERT chart. A Gantt chart offers valuable snapshot view of the project. A PERT is more useful for scheduling, monitoring, and controlling the actual work. A PERT displays complex task patterns and relationships. PERT also has chart boxes that can provide more detailed information. So you can't really say which one is better. It really depends on the need and how you're trying to analyze the project data. Then you have the critical path. The critical path is a series of tasks which, if delayed, would affect the completion date of the overall project. If any task on a critical path falls behind schedule, the entire project will be delayed. To calculate the critical path, you have to review the patterns, determine the start and the finish dates, which will determine the critical path. In the example, it shows a CPM PERT chart with 5 tasks. Task 2 is dependent task that has multiple successors. Task 5 has multiple predecessor tasks. In this figure, the analyst has arranged the task and entered the names, IDs, and durations. Now the analyst has entered the start and finish times using rules explained in this section. Notice that the overall project has a duration of 95 days. During the project, you have to monitor and control the project. Some techniques that you can use is using a structured walkthrough. You also should maintain a schedule. Most projects tune into some problems or delays. If this happens, you should try to anticipate problems, avoid them, minimize their impact, identify potential solutions, and select the best way to solve the problem. Reporting is a very important part of project managers. You will have project status meetings where you schedule regular meetings to update the team and discuss project status, issues, problems, and opportunities. They'll also use project status reports. The report can be verbal, but usually it's written. Gantt charts are sometimes used to show project status graphically. Handling difficult potential problems can be difficult. An overly cautious project manager who alerts management to every potential snag and slight delay will lose credibility over the period of time. Management might ignore potentially serious situations. A project manager who tries to handle all situations single-handedly and does not alert management until a problem is serious leaves little time to react or devise a solution. There are many project management software that can be used. Microsoft Project is a full-featured program that holds the dominant share of this market. It includes a Gantt chart. As you enter the task, the program automatically performs the calculation, detects the task pattern, and creates the Gantt chart. It also will create a network diagram, which the view is similar to a PERT chart. It creates a calendar view. The view is similar to a PERT chart as an overlay on a calendar. Gantt Project is a free open source program that can be used. This just shows you an example of what a Gantt chart view looks like. Notice how each view displays the project and highlights the critical path. If you were the project manager on September the 25th, what do you think your primary concern would be? Notice how each view displays the project highlights the critical path. If you were the project manager on September the 25th, again, what would be your primary concern? It will be your concern if the first wasn't completed because you have many tasks that start. And it would be conducting the survey because you see that as part of the critical path. Notice how each view displays the project highlights the critical path. If you were the manager on September the 25th, your primary concern would be conducting a user survey, and that is one of the critical tasks that would have to be completed in order not to delay the project. During the project, you also have to do risk management. You should develop a risk management plan, review the project scope, stakeholders, budget, schedule, and any other internal or external factors that might affect the project. Define project roles and responsibility, risk management methods and procedures, categories of risk, and contingency plans. Some of the steps in the risk management are: identify the task, list each risk, and assess the likelihood that it could affect the project. Analyze the risk. This is typically a two-step process. Quantitative risk analysis evaluates each risk by estimating the probability that it will occur and the degree of impact, and quantitative risk analysis is to understand the actual impact in terms of dollars, time, project scope, and quality. Just as in project management, risk management also has software that you can use. The software can be used to assign specific dates as constraints, align task dependencies, note external factors that might affect a task, track progress, display tasks that are behind schedule, link risks with specific tasks and projects, specifies probability and impact, and assigns ownership, track progress to manage project more effectively. When you're managing a project, you have to be able to be effective. With business issues, every system is to provide a solution to a business problem or opportunity. If a system does not do this, it is a failure. With budget issues, if you have unrealistic estimates that are too optimistic or based on incomplete information, failure to develop an accurate forecast that considers all costs over the life of the project, poor monitoring of progress and slow response to early warning signs of problems, schedule delays due to factors that were not foreseen, human resources issues including employee turnover, inadequate training, and motivation. Also, scheduling issues. Problems with timetable and project milestones can indicate a failure to recognize task dependencies, confusion between effort and progress, poor monitoring and control methods, personality conflicts among team members, or turnover of project personnel. The failure of an IT project also can be caused by poor project management techniques. The bottom line is, project managers must be alert, technically competent, and highly resourceful. They also must be good communicators with strong human resource skills. When problems occur, the project manager's ability to handle the situation becomes a critical factor.